my dad introduced me to running. I think I was around 10 years old when he got me into running. Every morning, he took me with him for his morning run, and I instantly fell in love with running. I ran every morning for 45 minutes, and there were a lot of days I ran 45 minutes in the evening too. I was never a fast runner, but I had a great endurance. After I moved to the US, I made sure to continue my running, but I was just running without any plan. I was probably running like a headless chicken. And for the first time, I saw folks running without a t-shirt and with washboard abs, and I was like, that's so fucking awesome, and I want to be there at some point. After I moved to New Jersey, that's when I got into like systematic running. That's when I came to know and I learned that there were stages and levels in running, like 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, and ultra marathon, and etc. I remember my first 10K, I was pretty heavy at that point. And guess what? It took me 1 hour to do it, and I was extremely disappointed. Then I got into a training plan, and then I did another 10K, and I did pretty well. A couple of years after that, I joined this running club called New York Road Runners. They have a program called 9+1. So it's 9 races plus 1 volunteering work. And this is one of the options for you to get an entry into the New York Full Marathon. For instance, you do that 9+1 program this year, so you're going to get an entry into the New York Full Marathon the following year, like the next year. I did that program in 2018, and I did a lot of races that year in 2018, starting from 10K, and then I did my first ever half marathon, and I did a 15-mile run and an 18-mile run. The 18-mile run was fucking brutal, to be honest. And all these races were mostly in the Central Park. There were a few races in Brooklyn, a couple of races in Staten Island, but predominantly all the races were in Central Park. Now, Central Park is huge. It has like a lot of routes and a lot of fucking hills, and it was so much fun. And all these races were on a beautiful Sunday morning. I used to drive down to the city, or sometimes I used to take a train. A lot of people hate driving into the city, but I love driving into the city. Driving into the city is also a beautiful emotion. If you can drive in the city, you can fucking drive anywhere in the world. And more than the race, I think the whole ambience of the runners in New York is just unbelievably awesome. You have runners coming in, taking the subways from Queens and from Manhattan and etc. After the run, they would just gather outside the run, talk about the run. They would catch breakfast, and so New York changed my whole perspective of running. It helped me run systematically. It helped me increase my endurance, and most importantly, it helped me increase my speed. I never calculated my speed back in India when I started running. When I first ran my 10K, I was probably running 9.5 minutes a mile. I was pretty heavy at that point, like I said. And gradually, I was able to lose a lot of fat, and I was able to run faster. From where I started with running 9.5 minutes a mile, I was at a point where I was running sub 8 a mile. And I also reached a level where I was running shirtless on the streets. When I finished the 10K, I wanted to do a half marathon. And when I did a half marathon, I dreamt of doing more longer distances. At that point, my ultimate dream was the full marathon, which I did in 2019. But what I'm trying to say is, running not only made me ambitious in that sport, but running kind of helped me become ambitious in my life as well. Ever since I started taking the sport more seriously, I started applying all of that in my life as well. So now I'm more ambitious, I'm more goal oriented, I'm more focused, I'm more hungry to be more successful. Could be anything, my personal life, professional life. And running for me is not just about losing fat. It's about the heart and the mind. I'm at a point now where I can't function without running or biking or swimming or any type of cardio at least 30 minutes a day. So 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, I make sure in the morning or in the evening, I do some sort of cardio for like 20 to 30 minutes. And that kind of helps me like function properly and be sane. I strongly encourage all of you to do some sort of cardio. It doesn't have to be running. Just do brisk walk, that's fine. Or go out on a walk with your partner, go out on a walk with your dog. Just do some sort of exercise just for 10-15 minutes a day, because your body deserves it. Your body and mind are already under a lot of stress because of your day-to-day activities, and your body deserves that small amount or any amount of exercise every single day. If you're very new to running, start with walk, and then you do the brisk walk, and then you slowly get into running. If you're already a pretty decent runner, try to push yourself. See if you can shred down your 10K pace, or probably shred down your half marathon pace. If you're already doing a half marathon, train for a full marathon. A nice observation that I would like to share with all of you. I used to listen to music while exercising. I stopped doing that 2 years ago, and trust me, it's one of the most beautiful feelings ever. I don't use my phone, I don't use my music anymore. It's just I purely concentrate on my form, my breath, and etc. And by doing that, you'll start to enjoy your exercise like million times more. I hope this inspires you to take those baby steps to get into running, or get back into running, or become a better runner. You might have folks around you asking you, did you buy a house? Did you save a lot of money? But how many folks ask you, did you exercise?